Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for just being here. Please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and then let's get into this video because it's crazy. And this view, honey, I'm gonna try to do it like this so that y'all can see the view, but also me. I actually contemplated on telling this story a couple of times because, and excuse the noise because this is a public area, so people are passing by. But I wanted to come on here and tell you guys this story, but I was hesitant because I haven't even told my mom because she's definitely gonna freak out. But also, I thought that I should tell her because our parents are one of our first intercessors when it comes to prayer and just praying over us and making sure that we're okay and that nothing bad, ever affects us or things like that. So, anyways, all that aside, sorry, mama. I would never turn somebody away who wanted a plate. I had a lady who came to me. She told me, hey, um, what did she say? She's like, I have court or something. I don't want to tell her business. Not, well, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have court, whatever, whatever. And I don't really have enough money. And this is like first time customer of mine. And I was like, yeah, like, girl, it's fine. Gave her beer free food, charged her like, took like $5 off of her total. Like, never, didn't care. Um, Came to me again a couple other times. One time I just gave her a free meal the second time, and again, this is just how I carry on in general. And still to this day, my husband, any of his friends come through, it's like, y'all get, give them, like, I don't care. Food is not a thing, okay? So I had this dream. I want to say that this happened probably about a month ago now. I had this dream, and basically, I was in this grocery store. I was wearing a hoodie, and I ended up stealing, which I would never steal food. Like, a food of all things, again, like, I just don't care about food. Of course, I care about food. Hello, but I don't care about food to where I'm gonna go steal it. So, anyways, I had these potatoes in my front pocket, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to the front, and I'm walking around, and the potatoes fall out of my pocket. So it's like one of them hoodies with the pockets at the front, and I had the potatoes in there. Anyways, the potatoes end up falling out of the pocket, rolling on the floor. And the manager's like, hey, something, something. He said something to me. I can't remember now. This has been a while now. And then after I was like, get to the front, and I'm talking to the girls at the front, and I'm like, hey, like, at the end of the day, y'all don't really know or understand. I was giving like a speech, like, y'all don't know or understand, sorry, why people would be stealing or taking things. Like, not everybody is capable of, paying for things, whatever. So that night I ended up having, or no, that afternoon I had that dream. That night was when I ended up going out and, doing a delivery. So I had this person before, mind you, I had this person reach out to me, ask me for food, whatever. I ended up showing up, and it's a little boy, like, I wouldn't say little boy, but little boy to me, big old man, but he was like maybe like 16, 17. And I was like, okay. And he told me at the time, he's like, damn, he's like, he had this app that I don't have, whatever, right? And I was like, I can't accept it through that. So I don't really know what to tell you. Like, maybe I could come back. Thankfully, at the time, I had a lady who ended up ordering 5 minutes after that, and I ended up having the order for her. So it's like, I can't stay, I gotta go, but I'll be back around. So, like, whatever. This day now, that was probably 2 weeks prior, maybe a week prior to him reaching out to me again. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I ended up taking the order, and I was like, hey, but you're gonna have to prepay because I ended up wasting my gas to go over there the first time. They're like, listen, look, I only have cash, da 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 da, whatever, whatever. Made their order, ended up going over there, and mind you, it's hot. It's summertime. You guys see, like, it's hot over here, okay? And basically, I go over there, and it's even warm in the nighttime. But they come out in a hoodie, and they were like, oh, just shivering, like, so cold, it's so cold. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then after, I was like, so your total is blah 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 blah. And then they gave me the cash, but it was like only $20, and total was like 40 or something like that. So I was like, okay, this doesn't even cover like half of what you ordered, but okay. And then after, they were like, kept saying, oh, it's so cold over here, it's so cold over here. And Something just told me to look at his pocket in the front of his hoodie. When I looked at his pocket, I told you, I kid you not, it was the biggest gun I've ever seen. I don't know, pew pew. I don't know if I can say gun, but a huge, I'm saying gun, huge gun in the front. So as that happened, I'm like, give him the food. The dream automatically came back to my mind. I'm like, give him the food. I literally just like threw him the food basically, and I was just like, it's fine, just take it. And I just drove off. Do you know that this little boy had the audacity to message me and be like, oh, what about my lemonade? I was like, yeah, you didn't even have enough money to pay for the food, babes. You didn't have enough money to pay for the foods. But when I tell you guys, I went home just so angry and so irritated at the fact that you would even, I'm not going to sit here and say that that was necessarily the intention, but again, to cause attention, saying that it's so cold, that causes me to look at, your outerwear and to see how you're dressed, to see if you're okay, which brings attention to your pocket, which has a huge gun. And as soon as you turn, I literally see the shine of the gun at the handle. So there's no faking that this is a gun. And to even be putting me into that circumstance, to have me feeling worried and on edge, like, I just felt so disgusted. But then my spirit, like, I knew by just the look in his face, and also like I knew that there was no backup option because I had already asked before if he had, other apps or anything like that that I could take a prepayment. And he said he only had cash. So I knew that, me saying like, is there any other thing? He's just like, oh yeah, let me figure it out. It's like, no, there's no figuring it out because you had no other option. So, but I don't want to sit there and assume that that's what it was. But at the same time, especially because the culture and everything over here is completely different than, where I grew up, which is, again, like I said, I'm going to make that video because there's very much differences that, I would tell somebody, moving countries, especially that have different laws and everything. But again, I didn't see, I didn't feel too worried, and maybe that's just by the grace of God that just kept me in that moment of unknowingness, especially since God gave me, this dream, that see a prophetic dream. So to have that just, greatly reminds me every day that, God's never going to put me into a line of danger without any defenses. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys, like, don't ignore your dreams. Don't sit there and just think, even though this wouldn't necessarily be me in real life, doesn't mean that God's not trying to warn you in spirit. So I just want you guys to really pay attention to your dreams and write them down, because you never know when they're going to make an occurrence or when it's going to come to fruition. Thank you guys for staying here, watching this video, and just please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay prayed up. Love you guys. Bye.